วัสดีครับผมนั่งอยู่กับพอล กิลเบิร์ตที่ทุกคนรู้จักกันดีแล้วเรามาสัมภาษณ์มาพูดคุยเรื่องดนตรีกับเขาเลย Welcome to Thailand again Paul.
It's great to be back in Bangkok.
Yeah สวัสดีครับ
Thank you.
Okay yeah first question yep what is really meaning behold electric guitar on your album
Oh,
From your
I'm just
side.
trying to get people's attention. I just want people to listen to the music, but I did come up with kind of a new concept.
Okay
And I guess it's kind of funny because, of course, I'm talking about electric guitar.
Yep.
But really, I'm trying to be a singer now with my guitar.
Okay
So, for example, I like one of the first songs that I wrote for the album.
Okay.
A song called "I Own a Building,"
Okay
and I wrote it just like a regular song, where I had a rhythm part, and I sang, "I own a building, and it feels so good to own a building."
Oh yeah nice song
Got my name on every brick and extension on mine. And then that was sort of my song. But then I thought, what would happen if I played it on guitar instead? So instead of I own a building, the And
Wow.
suddenly that became my voice. And of course, I'm playing an octave higher.
Okay
And if I sang it in that range, I would have to use falsetto.
Okay
You're like, it wouldn't be a good tone. But on guitar, it's a beautiful tone. So I started doing more and more vocal lines
Yep
on the guitar. And really, I've always wanted to be a singer. And now with guitar, I'm a much better singer
okay.
than I ever was before.
You confident
Yeah.
Okay You play slides pretty good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's I haven't learned any guitar slide licks. I only learned vocals.
Oh, really?
So like if I want to do Robert Plant, Was it been a long time? So it's a very horizontal way
Yeah.
of playing. Normally if you're a guitar player, you'd go like, what was it? That's a hard note to find.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
You'd kind of pentatonic scale. And that's all in one spot. But with slide, it's more this way, And so you start to visualize it this way more.
And do you have something for advice? If I've never played a slide before, and I want to be the good slide guitar.
Well, there's so many slide guitar players, and everybody uses a different finger.
Yeah.
For me, I really like the second finger. I don't know, I can just control it better.
Okay.
And it seems, I think it's the hand position.
Yep.
If I'm playing, that's my hand position. If I had used my third finger and did the same thing, I'd have to move my hand out this way a little more. I can still do it, but I have to start getting under the guitar. Where this way I can, I can have more of a rock.
Okay.
So the other thing is to learn, because I use standard tuning.
Okay.
And the main thing is to know that major chord, the G major.
Okay.
And to be able to find, it's easy to find because it's all. And then to find this little chromatic lick that goes.
Okay.
And it's down here too. So it's like there's your major chord, and then So you go like or sorry, I messed that up.
Yep. I heard about a guitar for playing the slide. It must to have like a high action.
I have pretty high action.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I also have eights.
Oh,
So
okay.
like 8 to 38, so really
Oh,
light
8 to
string.
38.
And it makes it easy to bend too, so I just want to go. It's very easy to grab the string when the action's high.
I
And
can play
I can
slide too.
still, was it, I can still do the hammer on the pull-offs. Because it's eights, because they're really light strings.
Oh, is main set for your string with every guitar?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, in my life, of course, I've used many different gauges. But recently, with slide and just so much bending, I really like eights.
Oh.
And I use a very light pick. I use like 0.50.
0.5?
Yeah, because that way, with light strings,
Oh, okay.
I can hit it hard. If I go.
Yep.
I can really hit it, and it doesn't. They're good for pick scratches too.
Oh, yeah.
They sound so good. Wow! They really grab the windings.
And before this, you played it is like a 1 millimeter pick or
So many different gauges over the years. I think,
okay.
yeah, over the years, so many different picks. Like way back in like the Racer X days when I was a teenager.
Okay.
I think I used to use those Herco nylon
Okay.
picks. I tried some of those recently. I couldn't play them at all. It was like, oh, it felt so weird. It's like I can't believe I ever used those, but that's what I did. And then later on, I got, I was an Yngwie fan.
Okay.
And I found out that he used like Fender extra heavies.
Okay. Yep.
So I got some of those and used those for a while. And then other companies just started like saying, "Oh, we can make you some picks." So I can't remember what company it was.
Okay.
But it was like 1.14, I think was the extra heavy, around that. So I used those for a while. And then John, the bass player of Racer X, he gave me a box
Okay.
of Tortex picks.
Okay.
And it had like the purple ones, which was really thick, the blue, the green,
Okay.
every kind. And I used the thick ones first, and then I ran out. And then I was like, well, I'll use the blue ones because those are left. And then I ran out of those, and then I'll use the green ones, and I ran out of those. And then finally I ended up with like the red ones, and I was like, I like these. So it was just because I was too lazy to call up the company and say like, can you send me some more? So I just kept going lighter and lighter.
When you start to play thin pick?
Probably, I don't know, like 5 years ago or something. But it's just a lot of even my solo playing is recently is a lot like strumming.
Okay.
Because it's
Okay.
where like the Jimi Hendrix style where he does like the. So to really be able to like beat up on it like that,
It's like a strumming a lot.
And like a lot of the modern shredders are much more like very careful. You go.
Yeah.
And I do that sometimes, but it's to me. I mean, I grew up in the 60s and 70s, so I'm kind of attached to that style.
Oh, yeah. Your last test album, you have a live recording? Yeah? You played together in the studio?
Yeah, right, yeah, in the studio.
Yeah? And no overdub?
No overdub.
Really?
Yeah, well, I have a keyboard player.
Okay.
And so he's got like, on one hand, he's playing like a B3 Hammond
Okay.
sound, and the other like a Fender Rhodes or
Okay.
piano.
Uh-huh.
So that makes it sound really big, and he almost sounds like two people because he's
yeah.
got two hands. Really, like he's sort of doing making the job of the chords,
Okay.
and then I'm mostly being like a singer,
Okay.
where I'm
yeah.
playing, so many melodies,
Uh-huh.
And so that's I hardly ever play chords anymore because that's the keyboard player's job.
You have the keyboard player already.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you rehearsal before you get in the studio, or you just
Sometimes.
sometimes.
Yeah, we actually did, but then the drummer that I used
Okay.
at the beginning,
Okay.
he became so exhausted that he passed out in the
really?
studio. We had to call an ambulance to take him to the hospital.
Really?
But,
wow.
But
okay.
I was on a deadline, so it was like, man, we got to find another drummer. So we got another drummer, and the new drummer had never heard the songs.
Uh-huh.
So we just taught it to him right then, and we actually ended up getting, like, he could only play for like one or 2 days, and then we got another drummer, and that was Bill, who's on the tour with me now.
Uh-huh.
And he did the last half of the album, but he didn't hear any songs until he was driving to the studio. Yeah, so, I mean, fortunately, I mean, they're great musicians, and I'm really, that's the thing is, if you've been playing a long time, you kind of know the vocabulary of music. So if I say like, oh, this is the progression, it's these chords, everybody knows those chords. They've heard those chords before, so it's not, if you know the chords and you can groove, you're good.
And on your solo section, you almost improvise or jamming at the song,
Yeah,
or you prepare some.
On some of them, like the song "Having It" probably has the
Okay.
longest,
Yep. Yeah.
longest space.
A lot
to
of groove.
jam.
Yep. Uh-huh.
And it's just one chord, just over a C7. And so it's very, then you just do what you want in C7.
Okay.
When we have a seventh chord like that, that's sort of standard blues.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And typically the rock guitar player
Okay.
will play a lot of minor
Yep.
stuff.
Yep. Yep.
And I like that's kind of like Led Zeppelin style blues. But I tried to do more of the major blues.
Okay.
Where so it's a lot of the major blues scale.
Uh-huh.
And the trick that most guitar players know is you move your hand down 3 frets,
Okay. Oh yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
and the minor becomes major.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
But the problem is
Uh-huh.
if you do that with your normal shapes.
Okay.
Like let's say you've got a minor blues lick that's like.
Okay. C minor. Uh-huh.
But if you take it down 3 frets,
yeah.
you end up putting emphasis on. It's I mean that's a good note, but it's not a good note to emphasize.
Okay.
You'd want to go like. That's a better.
Oh yeah. G is
That's a
better.
better note to end on.
Uh-huh.
So I ended up coming up with shapes.
Okay.
Instead of that I really, to me, are like major blues scale shape.
Okay.
Like and it's much more like the places where I'll land are the right places to land.
Okay. It's better.
Well, let me show you one. This
Okay.
is really good. I'll use the jazz trick because the jazz trick is you let the band play the root,
Oh yeah.
but the soloist you don't have to play the root. So
Okay.
I skip over it. So I would go. So I'm going to play the seventh and the ninth.
Okay.
And there's the root. I don't play it.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll hit the third. So I go, and those are 6 notes.
Okay.
And it starts on B flat.
D.
And then do the same thing, B flat. And the same thing, B flat. So it's 2 notes in a string, and then 4 notes.
Okay.
2, 4, 2. So.
Oh, it's a trick.
And that could even work if you go to the 4 chord.
Okay.
You know. Well, I don't know where I'm in C.
Oh, okay. Sound
Yeah.
sound like a
but it's
little
a
bit
lot
jazz.
of emphasis on the major.
Okay.
And that's, you know, I didn't learn that very much when I was a kid. I mean, maybe a little bit with Robin Trower, because I knew something.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, growing up with metal, I was much more like, my hands were minor key hands. And that's one of the big discoveries lately, is playing more of the major blues.
And this B-hole electric guitar is some kind of the blues, a lot of blues inside.
Well, I mean, like the song "Blues for Rabbit."
Yeah.
That's you know, that's pretty traditional blues. Other things like "Sir, You Need to Calm Down." That's I mean, in a way, that's kind of bluesy. Because I'm doing like the 1 chord in a minor 1, 4, 1, then the 4, back to the 1, then the 5, 4,
1, 4, 5.
But then I throw in like a 3 chord. So but it's there's some blues elements in there. There's like a 1, 4, 5. Just you know, it's odd time.
Yep.
And it's got some other things in it.
And
but then I threw in something very non-bluesy, which was the. What was that? And that's more jazz.
Oh yeah.
But it's not the thing with jazz. I haven't really studied jazz the way you're supposed to.
Okay.
Like the people who study jazz, they learn the standards.
Yep.
You learn, you know, to take the A train and Autumn Leaves. I haven't really done that. So
okay.
So I'm not a real jazz person yet, because I can't play Autumn Leaves.
Okay. But right now I heard about you listening. You enjoy the jazz.
I got into the blues, and blues is similar to jazz.
Okay.
You know, if you have a blues progression, you know, it's like the 1, the 4, and the 5, and the 4, and the 1. But you can also do the one where it's got the 6 and the 2. You know, 2. And there's things you can do to the chords that are you know, a little different. You know. There's little tricky notes you find, or where you go up a half step, then you know. So there's, you know, I'm learning little tricks that will eventually find their way
to put jazz, in your life.
And things like, I mean, maybe the main jazz trick is that thing where you don't play the root.
Oh yeah.
So if I'm playing, you know, you know, there's no root, and there's the 7th, 9th, 3rd, and 5th.
Okay.
And here, you know, there's no, even like Iron Maiden does it. What's the one, you know? Was it? song called "Stranger in a Strange Land."
Okay.
Heavy metal Iron Maiden song.
Oh.
And the melody, I don't know what key. I guess it's an E, but it's total jazz, like the seventh to the ninth to the seventh
Okay.
to the fourth. I mean, it's sort of like a D triad,
Ah. Oh.
but they don't play. He doesn't sing the root
Okay.
until later on. But
Uh-huh.
but that's very jazzy.
Oh yeah. Okay. And on the song Everywhere That Mary Went, I love that story. Can you tell me about that?
Oh, which song is it?
Everywhere That Mary Went.
Oh, yeah, that's I use like a 13 chord.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then it's got this line that's like a 5. It's pretty easy to play, actually. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So,
Okay.
so it's like I'm using a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs.
Uh-huh.
So it'd be F sharp, A, and then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I just put those together, and I move it up in like a half whole. So half step, whole step,
half
half step, whole step.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah. Sound symmetrical, yep.
yeah, but it's all 16th notes in the end. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And which guitar is the main guitar for this?
The main one was a red Ibanez FRM 150
Okay.
that I had. I put these mini humbuckers in the DiMarzio PG13s.
Okay.
And it was put the slide magnet. And I have this one just has no pick guard. So you can see the magnets.
Oh. Okay. You put it.
But I just started like ripping up the paint so much, so I put some tape on there to protect it a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's really good idea for slide. Uh-huh.
And then the other one was the PGM. I'm sorry, the FRM 200, the white one.
Okay.
And that was totally stock, but I also put the
Okay.
the slide magnet on it.
How about amplifier?
I used a Marshall Blues Breaker,
A blue break?
yeah, a new one.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like the vintage reissue,
Okay.
and I put it right in front of me. So I was like,
when you're recording, you put it amp in
so
front?
I had the amp right here, speakers facing my guitar.
Oh.
So I didn't have to be that loud, and I could still get really good resonance because I was so close to the guitar. And then for the pedals, I had what was it? A Deja Vibe by Full Tone.
Mm-hmm.
The Dunlop Mini Crybaby, the Hendrix one, the little one, and an AC booster by Exotic Effects, a Supro Drive,
Okay.
and a TC Electronic Mojo Mojo.
Oh, wow. When you use drive from the Marshall?
No, the Marshall totally clean.
Ah, totally clean.
Yeah, I got all the drive from the pedals.
From the pedal? Oh, it sounds so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good. I mean, that amp does sound good when you crank it up, but it's a little, especially if in the studio I didn't use my reverb pedal or my delay pedal because the engineer wants to do it when he mixes. But like live, I can use a delay pedal or a reverb pedal, and if the amp's clean, it sounds good.
Okay.
If the amp's distorted, then those pedals sound kind of noisy. So
Oh, really?
yeah, I mean, if you put a reverb before a distorted amp, it's
Oh,
terrible.
yeah.
You have to use the effects
I
loop,
agree
and the
with
effects
that.
loop to me is too complicated. So.
Uh-huh. Every time you play, you use a clean tone, no
Yeah.
drive?
Lately, I mean, I started doing it because I was touring so much,
Okay.
and a lot of times I use the local amp,
Okay.
and and so sometimes the way one amp distorts, maybe the tubes are old, not so good, but I can always get a good clean sound.
Uh-huh.
So I thought, okay, that's reliable. And I do so much traveling, tours in Europe and tours in Asia, tours in South America.
Uh-huh.
So the only place where I bring my own amp is America.
Oh, yeah.
And so since I'm always using, the local amp,
Okay.
I can rely on the clean tone.
finally is anything on the guitar you still like to do but you can't do it
Basically, the thing that I want to do is I want to be able to play exactly what I hear in my head.
okay
And the way I do that is I'm going through the melodies that I know already.
okay
Like I grew up listening to the Beatles and the Beach Boys and you know, a lot of singers. And so if I go, when I call you up, your lies and gay. Can I find that on the guitar? You know. Or it's tricky to find it. And you see that's the same.
oh yeah
That's that lick, like a lick I showed
yep
you.
yeah
So that's because singers have licks too.
oh yeah
You know, if you're a guitar player, you know all the guitar. You know that's sort of the guitar lick. But singers do a lot of that. They do that all the time. It's like really or that I mean, that's actually one where like guitar players and singers both do. That's like the blues phrase. But like I was figuring out some Rod Stewart.
okay
You know that song? Was it Wake Up? Or was it? I can't remember what key it. Yeah, it is, and that like that's a guitar lick, you know. So that's the kind of thing I want to be able to do is like just as I
okay.
sing it, be able to find it on the guitar.
it's like a George Benson
Because I think a lot of guitar players, including me, you know, the way you're trained as a guitar player is visually.
oh
You know, you get like these things. Okay, you know, look at this shape, and you learn, you know,
oh yeah visual
and you learn how it looks like.
okay
But then, you know, to know what it sounds like and to be able to make melodies, it's a totally different thing. You know, to be able to, and so to me, I'm just sort of going through all the melodies I know. You know, if that's like was it 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9, 10 o'clock. And that's really hard. Try that, you know.
Yeah.
It's a totally different way than like you know. You won't get that melody from that scale. You know, it's a different way of playing guitar.
oh yeah it's a really big thing
Even though the notes are the same, the way they're laid out is different. You know.
Really good advice for this one
Yeah.
thank you very much for your time
Oh, thank you.
yeah